Hello, welcome back to Food and Whatever. This is Christina, your host. Welcome back. I've been away for a while and opening up a new restaurant, but I'm back at home to the kitchen, which is awesome. Today we are going to be cooking some steaks and salad with some squash. As you can see, I'm wearing a sweater, so it's starting to get a little bit cold. Within your salad, I'm actually going to make a bowl out of your tomatoes, so the whole thing is actually edible. I went ahead and cut some onions. I got some green beans also, cut up the tip and cut them in half because they tend to be very long. For the squash, I pre-cut it and started cooking it a little bit so it wouldn't take so long. Cut the ends, scoop out the middle with a spoon. It's very easy. You have to literally scoop it out, and it comes off. And with the knife, you want to take off the skin. Cut it into the size desired. I like mine to be little cubes. I seasoned it with salt, pepper, a little bit of cinnamon, and I put oil in it, olive oil, and I started letting it roast so you get a nice golden color. Now, for the tomato, I went ahead and took out the core. Want to get rid of. That's going to be trash. But for the bowl, you also want to go ahead and cut enough to make a little bowl. Now, you're not going to throw this away. You're actually going to. Also going to use it with the meat. So I am going to scoop it out. And you see that little cavity in there? That is going to be for your salad that you're going to put. You don't have to use the whole, take out the whole cavity, but you do want to have enough hole for that salad. I'm going to go ahead and cut this up, and I'm going to put that with my vegetables. I'm going to go ahead and saute my green beans, my onions, and my garlic. Now, I know that some people have problems because their garlic is roundish. The best way to cut it, you can always go ahead and cut it in half so you can lay it flat. And then you can go ahead and slice them so you won't roll around everywhere. It's going to be a lot more easier if you do it that way. Let's go ahead and add that. So, to my tomato, I'm actually going to go ahead and put it in with my squash only for a little bit. I do have my oven at 400 degrees. For the seasoning, I'm just going to use balsamic vinegar, some oil, and I'm going to put it in the oven. I don't want to cook it too much because I don't want this to be, it's actually going to be a drizzle. I like to just put it in the inside for the flavoring and a little bit of oil all around. Not too much. Grab a bowl so it won't be all over the place. You're going to put it inside. You're going to put a tiny bit of it outside. It's just the beginning. And always have a towel so you can clean your hands. I'm going to go ahead and put that. I don't want to cook my tomato where it is falling apart, but I do want to cook it a little bit. So again, I'm going to place it in the oven and let that cook for a bit. I have 2 saute pans heating up right now. Both of them I'm going to add a little drizzle, about a tablespoon of oil in one, and about a teaspoon of oil in the other one. The one that has a tablespoon, I'm going to go ahead and saute my garlic, the onions, and the tomato that I went ahead and cut up with the green beans. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it's all mixed very, very well. You want to get your onions to start caramelizing a little bit, your green beans to start getting a nice bright green. So you're going to leave that alone to cook. You also want to make sure that you add some salt and pepper to it. Just a little bit. Salt and pepper is going to be to taste. and a tad bit of pepper. Again, you just want to saute this and make sure that everything is nice and cooked. My pan for my steak is ready, so I'm just going to go ahead and season my steak. I made this, guys. It was so easy. I went to one of those places down in Albany while I was down there and make it, just painting the plate. Great, exactly, thing to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my steak. It doesn't matter what kind of steak it's preferably to yours. This is a ribeye, brown. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a tad bit of oil on it, olive oil to it. Not that much. I don't like to overdo my steak for flavor. I like the beef flavor. This is going to be some pepper that I'm going to add to it and some salt. Again, I like my beef to be not over seasoned. I like the flavor itself of the meat. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down. Cook it to your preference temperature. It's going to be a medium hot, medium well, a rare, medium rare. So while that's being done, check on your vegetables, and if you can tell, they're coming very, very well. Your green beans are becoming very, very nice green, which means that it's being cooked to the right consistency, and your onions are becoming nice and loose. So now, what you want to do is you're going to keep your tomatoes in there, but you want to grab your squash that you roasted, and you're going to go ahead and add it to those sauteed vegetables. You're going to put the tomato back to continue cooking, and you're going to add this. You can see it is very, very easy. It is healthy, and it's very, very nice colors to it. You got white, green, yellow, and pink from the tomato. I'm going to go ahead and continue cooking. Right over here, I am going to do a quick dressing. It's going to be with balsamic vinegar. I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon to tie it in with the squash, and it's going to be oil, pepper, and salt. A little bit of honey for sweetness. That's also going to help keep the dressing from coming apart. Dressing is a 3-to-1 ratio, 3 being oil, 1 being vinegar. I like my dressing with a lot less oil, so it is to your preference that you make your dressing. I do mine like a 2-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to go ahead and add the vinegar, some of the olive oil. Now be mindful that your olive oil will bring out a different flavor. So if you do not like that, you can always add there's an oil specifically for dressing. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my vegetables because they're ready. Turn over my steak. And I'm going to go ahead and add 2 dashes of cinnamon, a little bit of pepper, very, very small amount of salt. That's enough. And the honey is going to help with sweetness, and it's going to be a binder. A binder is what you keep your dressing from your oils and vinegars to be separating. If you do not like that, you can always add mayo, or you can add mustard. You want something to bind it. So I'm going to go ahead and stir it in. And it also helps with thickness of the dressing. Always make sure that you taste your dressing. That's actually perfect for me. I'm going to go ahead and add some of the greens. I got field greens. Spring mix. It's a mixture. It's very, very good. I prefer this one than anything else. I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. bring out your tomatoes. Whatever juice you have from your tomato, you can always add it to your vegetables right here. Go ahead and start plating it up. Turn off the oven. Turn everything off. Alright, now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead and mix in my salad real quickly. And it's okay if you have drizzle and greens all around, because it's going to be part of your plating. But you also don't want it to be way too messy. You're going to grab a lot of those vegetables with your butternut squash, and top. You're going to grab your steak. You're going to place it right on top. There you go. So you actually have your steak. You have your steak and your vegetables that you sauteed with your tomato as your bowl and your salad that you've made. So now it's time to taste. As always, we grab a knife and let's go ahead and cut. A lot of food, I know. Yeah, I got my tomato. You can, like I said, your tomato will be part of the food, but it's also part of your plating. So I got my tomato and my salad. And as usual, this is amazing. Not giving props. And thank you, God, for giving me these abilities to cook. But as you can see, it's very, very simple. It looks fancy. You can plate it up on any kind of plate. You can serve it up. Great date food for you guys. You can impress the girl. You got your steak, you got your squash, your fall is coming, so you nice plate presentation. It looks kind of messy because I've been eating out of it, but as always, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. It did take a little bit longer because I had a lot more items to cook, you guys, but I hope that you enjoyed it, and as always, have fun, and hit me on Facebook. Enjoy.